I don't know why haters be telling me to mind my business when they're out here not minding theirs. Shut your mouth and enjoy the tea. We all know you're here for it, sis.
You a vlogger, fishing over. You a queen, one less than I'm a gozy. Owamie, Owamie. Owamie, Owamie. Owamie, Owamie.
Hi my ninjas, how are you guys doing? It's a girl, Owamie, aka Miss Pia Focal. Bring back for entertainment. If it's the first time joining me, almost welcome. Please do make sure that you subscribe and obviously hit the bell. I absolutely love it. Do not forget to follow me on Instagram. It's at boldly Owamie. Now my ninjas, today is going to be a story time. I know some of you have been asking, Owamie, when are we getting a story time from you? Girl, yes, that's story time, and you better watch this video, okay? Well, anyway, my ninjas, for some of you that may be very confused, or why are you going on dates? Yes, girl, I am currently going through a divorce. My divorce should have been finalized a long time ago, but things are just not going the way that I thought they would. However, the only thing that is left now is just to sign on that dotted line, which I'm sure will happen very soon, and then I'm done, okay? But anyway, I just personally felt like it's been a while, and I'm open to dating. I'm just not open to being in a relationship as of yet. I just feel like a relationship is going to require a certain level of trust, effort, strength, girl sacrifices, and all that changes that I just don't have at this moment. And so I'm barely functioning and having my channel keep up as it is, and so I'm just like, listen, I'm not ready for that. However, I'll go on a date and just meet new people and just basically get the feel of things and see what is out there. Being a woman that has not gone on a date with any other man for the past almost 10 years, of course it's not something that is easy, you guys. So I was like, you know what, girl, you are ready to go on dates. And so I actually did go on a date. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start just by giving you guys like the backstory. And yes, I will be drinking some brutal fruit. So hey, brutal fruit, do the right thing and let's partner up, okay? Please do tag them, you guys. If this makes it on Instagram, please do make sure that you tag them so that I can work with them. I mean, I love that drink. So anyway, my ninjas, as I was saying, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys the backstory on how I met Mugai and all that. So I'd say this other day, you guys, I was actually in Mall of Africa and I was walking, and so okay, fine. I was actually like going downstairs so that I can just pay for my parking ticket, and I'm getting my car and vamos, come back home. Now, as I was still like on the upper floor, I'm walking, and then I walk past this guy and we pass like that. Now he greets me, and the way that he greets me, he's like, "Oh, lady with gorgeous hair." That's what he said. And he said, "How are you?" I said, "I'm fine, thanks. How are you?" He said, "I'm fine." And then he was trying to say something, but then I really didn't like stand. So the conversation happened as we were passing, and I didn't stop for him. So I did see that he was continuing to talk or say something that I didn't hear, and then I used the escalators and then I went down. Now, as I was standing, you guys, on the queue to pay for my parking ticket, here comes the same guy that I just saw upstairs, and then he was like, "Oh my goodness, like you're gorgeous." And I'm like, "Thank you, I know." No, I'm kidding. Like I said, "Thank you." And he was like, "Oh, can I please just have your numbers?" Honestly, at that moment, I was like, "Do I give him? Do I not give him? Girl, try it out." And so I gave this guy my numbers, right? And then when I gave him my numbers, he immediately called me. And so I guess number one, he was just trying to make sure that I gave him the right numbers. And so, the fact that like he did even come down to talk to me, I was like, "Is you a go-getter, boo boo? Let's try it out. You know." And so, okay, sharp, I get into my car, I come home. Now, on that day, I don't know what was happening. I stored this guy's numbers wrong. In terms of I stored a wrong person's name under those numbers. I don't know what happened, you guys. Hey, Owamie here, and I have some great news. If you have a YouTube channel or a business and you would like to get some affordable advertisement, I offer those services. Follow the instructions on your screen right now and say hello to some new traffic. Now let's get back to the video. I can't even remember storing those numbers, but anyway, when I got home, the guy called, and when he called, he was like, "Oh, I just wanted to greet you. Are you okay? I'm gonna be flying out." Blah, blah. And so, I'm gonna be back in Gauteng, like, blah blah blah. And then when I come back, we definitely have to go on a date. You're so beautiful, whatever. And I was like, okay, no problem. Now the guy did not really keep in contact like that. And so, life moved on. Now, round about Good Friday time, the guy calls me, he's like, "How are you?" I'm like, "I'm good, how are you?" He's like, "I'm fine." He's now saying like, "I really want to go on a date with you. I'm in Gauteng right now. Can we meet?" And unfortunately, I was in Venda, obviously. So I was like, that can't happen because I am in Venda. Now, at first, you guys, I was like, "Oh, I'll call you back," because I was busy with something. I never called him. And so, and it wasn't like even intentional. I get really busy these days that I even tend to forget. Like if I don't put something in my calendar for my Google to remind me, girl, sorry, like it's done, and so I forget to call this guy and I don't call him. The other day he calls me again and I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to call you, whatever." He's like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I'm still in Venda." I stayed a long time in Venda, you guys remember, it was almost 2 weeks. And then so he was like, "Okay, when you come back to Gauteng, please tell me." I was like, "Okay, no problem, I'll tell you." Girl, did I call him? No, I didn't. And so when I was back in Gauteng, around about almost a week and a half ago, that's when Mugai, gives me a call. He called me around 6 p.m. And then when I picked up my phone, he was like, "How are you?" I said, "I'm okay." He asked, "Where are you?" I was like, "Oh, I'm actually home. I'm busy with something." He was like, "Today I'm not taking no for an answer. You've been saying you'll call me back. You've not called me back. I flew in just this morning and I'm going to be flying out tomorrow morning. So I really need to see you." And the guy was basically not like asking, was kind of like, demanding to see me. Now, honestly, I ain't even going to lie. Like, that was the gem for me, honey. I was like, okay. Like, the guy seemed to be very sure of himself, And so I was like, I think this is going to be a good date. So let me just go ahead and do it, girl. Did I not get ready in this house of mine? Did I not go into that Nissan X-Trail and actually start that car? Okay, press the button, yes, drove my behind all the way to South Africa. Now, when I was talking to this guy, he was like, "Yeah, we're going to be meeting next in Mall of Africa." And so, I'm looking at the time. I spoke to this guy around past 6. For me to get ready, it was like past 7 to 8. Around 10 to 8, I'm leaving. But then I'm like, I know that restaurants in Mall of Africa, they close like around 8 and stuff. Except for the ones outside, I think they close around 10 or something. But I wasn't really sure, you guys. So I wanted to make sure. I was like, "No, just come here." I was like, "Oh, okay." I drive there, you guys. When I get there, Muga's telling me, "No, I'm not in Mall of Africa. I'm actually at City Lodge Hotel." Now, there's a City Lodge Hotel right next to Mall of Africa. And I'm like, hotel? Hotel. I ain't a hoe, so I ain't telling nothing, shbub, okay? I was like, hotel? Like, I thought we were going to a restaurant. It's like, no, don't worry about it. Come here. We're not going into any hotel room, whatever. There's a lobby here. We're gonna just sit. We're gonna just eat. Like, we're gonna just sit and talk. It's just like a restaurant, whatever. I'm like, okay, fine, guys. Honestly, I don't even want to lie. This guy was very much persistent, and other than that, I don't know what he drank. Like, I don't know what I was drunk on. So I honestly, like, I had seen that City Lodge Hotel, but I had never been in there and stuff like that. And so when he was talking, I couldn't really make it. Like, I couldn't hear well what he's saying. And then I said, "Send location." Then the location was just, the navigator was just sending me in the middle of the road. And so I'm like, oh my goodness. I was even about to leave because I was just getting frustrated. And so, he actually walked out to the robots. And then when I was driving, I saw him. And then, okay, fine. I get there, we get there. And then, I packed the car. We entered the hotel. Now, there's a beautiful lobby over there, and the food is actually really nice. I think I'm gonna go there just for the food. But anyway, it's fine. I get there, we sit down, and as we sit down, I look at him, and he's looking more handsome than the day I actually saw him. So I guess now he had cleaned up and all that. Obviously, my girl had her makeup on and all that chandish, but okay. Now we sit obviously, and we start like the greetings, the talk, the smiles. The first thing Mugai says is that, I'm not here to make you feel comfortable. I'm not going to make you feel comfortable. So if it's comfortability you're looking for, you're definitely not going to find it here. Now I'm looking at him, I'm just like, guy, is you drunk? The hell do you mean? You're not going to make me feel comfortable. Like, what are you, periods? Are you my periods? Because they don't make me feel comfortable. Like, I really just did not get that. I don't know if he thought that was like some sort of like sexy thing or whatever, but it was not for me. And so like I was kind of like taken back a little bit. Like, what do you mean you're not going to make me feel comfortable? Am I not supposed to feel comfortable? And so I asked him, I was like, why? He said, well, have you not dated before? I was like, yeah, I've dated before. He's like, were you not comfortable with those people? I was like, yeah, I was comfortable with those people. And then he was like, well, how did it end? So it ended in tears, obviously. And so I was like, oh, okay, let me give this guy, the benefit of the doubt, and let's sit down and just hear and listen to him and what he has to say. Now, mind you guys, as I was driving in, because he did come to the robots, he had to enter my car, and then we drove into the hotel together. And then I packed the car, and obviously then we entered the hotel and all that shit, right? So he did see the car I was driving. Now I was just making jokes, obviously. I did go with my car, my new car. So, it's a really nice car, you guys. Like, it's a really nice car. So this guy is like, yeah, I'm not going to make you feel comfortable. So, you need to understand that if I'm flying into Joburg and I'm like, listen, babe, I'm like flying to Joburg, you need to come fetch me in the airport. You need to be ready to fetch me in the airport. And I'm looking at this guy and I'm like, you actually got it all wrong. You thought you got the right one. You got the wrong one, Shbubu. If you is coming and you is flying into Gauteng, you is finding your own transport, Shbubu, like how you been doing it. I'm dropping everything. Who's going to be gossiping here on YouTube? If now I have to be out here busy, up and down, picking people up. Now, I just looked at him and I was just like, you wish. And then, Mugai, goes on and on and on. Now, I was very much interested in like, okay, this guy keeps on flying in and out. What exactly do you do for a living? Like, we might be out here. You never know, right? And so I asked him, like, what does he do for a living? And honestly, you guys, like, the answer he gave me legit, and don't laugh. He was like, well, I'm the kind of guy that can have 0 in my account today and have 10 million rands in my account tomorrow. And I looked at him and I was like, we all have that. We are all that, Chibobo. I can have 30 million rands in my account tomorrow by my mouth. I can speak it. But as for the clock, that message that comes in? Girl, I was like, this guy lives in La La Land. He's one of those dreamers, I'm like, okay. I'm listening to this. I'm just like, I want to get to the part of what exactly do you do that can move you from 0 to 10 million rands in less than 24 hours. Now, this guy, you guys, basically is talking about how, he's making deals. He's connecting deals with this and that, mine and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. He asked me, like, what do you do for a living? I was like, I'm a social media consultant. And so I didn't lie, because I do consult, which if you guys need consultations, please do make sure that you come to my DMs, or the advert will be somewhere here. So just make sure you come to my, obviously the WhatsApp, the business, my PA will respond to everything. But that's what I said. I didn't say that I was a YouTuber and stuff like that. I just felt like that's like gonna be awkward, especially looking at the fact that Ninja's just wild out. And so I was like, I'm a social media consultant. And it's like, oh wow, and you can afford to drive that car. I was like, yeah. It's like, oh, things must really be going well. I'm like, we thank God. But then, okay, fine, then the night goes on, and this guy asked me, like, what is it? He was asking like some really, really personal questions. And I don't mind that, you guys. I mean, I don't really mind that. I don't know how the dating game is now. Who knows? Maybe like on the first date, people now show each other boobs, and I don't know. And so, this is my first proper date in like forever. And so I'm like, okay, like, he's asking some really personal questions. He's already talking about, sex. He's already talking about, he asked a lot of personal questions. And then he's like, I'm sure you've never been on a date where somebody asks you this on the first day. I told you that I'm not going to make you feel comfortable. I'm just looking at this guy like, guy, the time, I need to get me home. This is not working. And so, okay, fine. At first, like I said, I don't want any food because I just eaten. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just get a hot beverage. So I actually just wanted to get like a cappuccino, something like that. But then he insisted, like, no, order something. We're going to be here for a while. I'm like, order something. I don't want the kitchen to get closed and then you'll be hungry. So I'm like, listen, if this guy is forcing me to chow his money, I'm going to do exactly that. So I obviously order you guys some food, and then, the food is there. So, like, he was very much persistent and insistent on, like, whatever it is that he wanted to happen has to happen. And so, like, we kept on talking. And then he would do, like, this weird stuff where he's like, okay, stand up, guys. And then I'll stand up, and then he will come, and then he will hug me, and then he will let go. And they'll be like, okay, sit down. I was just guys, I was so confused. I'm like, is this how things are happening now, really? Like, is this how it is now? Because I've got no clue on what on earth is happening at this moment. This guy made me stand up like maybe 3 times. No, legit, it's no joke. And then he comes, and then he's like, he was talking about consent, right? So I'm like, okay, like a guy or a girl, everybody needs to get consent before they can do anything with anyone. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, no, it's all about self-control. So I can come to you like this. He stands up, you guys. I don't know how many times this guy stood up. I legit have got no clue. He stands up, he comes to me, and then he puts his nose right on mine, and he's like, and then he pulls back. It's like, I can't be that close to you and not kiss you. Like, that's what we call self-control. Guys, this guy was very sure of himself. And I guess that maybe that works for other girls, but I've been married almost a decade, and I'm coming out here, and this guy keeps on making me stand up and sit down, and like, I'm just like, I've never been so exhausted, you guys, from a date. Okay, now, okay, fine. He asked me a question like, what is your perfect first date? Now I'm just sitting out here like, guy, I didn't even know I was going to have a first date ever in my life again. I don't have those like, oh, my perfect first date. No. I was married for almost 10 years. Like, do you understand that? Like, this is something that I'm having in my mind. I'm like, I don't have a perfect date in my mind. He's like, well, I have a perfect date in my mind. And then you know what he does? He stands up. He takes his bag. He's like, follow me. I'm not. Follow who? What now? Guys, this guy is now going straight to the elevator. He wants to go to his hotel room. The same hotel room that over the phone he was like, oh no, we're not gonna go to the hotel room and stuff like that. Like we're gonna just be sitting in the lobby. I was like, I'm not going anywhere with you. Where are we going? It's like, oh, you'll see when we get there. I'm like, no, I'm not going anywhere. He actually enters the lift. He's like, come inside. I'm standing out there like, it's like, okay, then you will follow me, use the stairs if that's what you want. He closes the door and then the elevator goes up. Guys, I just went and I sat in the lobby because this guy had taken my handbag. Okay. I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm not going up there. If honestly this guy is not coming back down, then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just call the security and I'm going to tell them that, guys, go and retrieve my handbag from this guy. And then like, obviously, I'm going to actually get the hell out of here. Now, this guy maybe spends about 5 minutes and then he calls me. It's like, where are you? I'm like, down by the lobby. He's like, oh, why don't you listen? I'm like, no, I told you I'm not going to any hotel room with you. Okay, he then comes down, he sits on the chair and he's like, why are you so stubborn? I'm like, I'm not stubborn. I actually need to go right now. It's like, no, we don't have to go. We still have to talk. Blah, blah, blah. Guys, I was exhausted. I legit just wanted to leave. Number one, I'm exhausted. Number two, I'm bored like nobody's business. Number three, I'm trying to be polite. Like I'm a very polite human being. I'm trying to be polite to this person. But this guy's making it really impossible. When I'm saying I want to leave, he's like, no, you don't have to leave, blah, blah, blah. Guys, this guy could see me like, he still was insistent that I don't leave. I'm like, now I asked him for my handbag. I'm like, can I please have my handbag? I'd get my handbag, girl. After I got a grip on my handbag, I was like, I'm about to leave right now. I'm really tired. I'm exhausted. I really need to sleep. He's like, no, you don't have to go, this, then that. Guys, can you guys believe that I actually left and he was fighting that I don't have to leave? So even to accompany me, he got at the door, he never accompanied me straight to my car. Now, I'm like, I don't really give a damn at this moment. I go ahead and get into my car. I reverse my car. I leave the hotel. And then I drive home. When I get home, did Mugai even send a text like, did you arrive home safe? No, he didn't. And so, I forgot to actually tell you guys, the lobby there is really beautiful. So I was like, oh, wow, this is a gorgeous lobby. He was like, oh, this lobby is nothing. Tomorrow I'm going to take you to, he said, this other place. I guess it's also a hotel. It's like, it's gorgeous there. And so when he says he's going to take me there tomorrow, he means that I guess he's going to pour petrol into my car and then my car is going to drive to that hotel. And I don't know what is it that he has with hotels and stuff like that, but so he doesn't call me like to find out how did you arrive home, because mind you, when I left you guys, he was actually angry. He was not happy about it because he wanted me to go into his hotel room and I was refusing and stuff like that. So okay, fine. I don't say anything to him. The following day, the whole damn guy doesn't call. At around 6 p.m., that's when Mugai calls. When he calls me, he's like, how are you? I'm like, I'm fine. How are you? I'm fine. He's like, are we still on? Are you coming? I'm like, what do you mean am I coming? He's like, well, yesterday we said we were going to go to that place. I just forgot the name of that hotel, you guys, because I ain't telling nothing. But I'm kidding. And so I'm like, hey, boo, you still wanted us to go there? He's like, yeah, why not? I was like, wait a minute. Like, I was actually on the phone with my best friend, Lebu. And so Lebu is actually hearing everything and she's actually laughing because I already explained what had happened. And so I was like, no, like, wait, I'll call you back. So I actually just, sent him a message. I was like, sir, I'm really sorry, but, I feel like, we are not compatible and let's not waste each other's time. So thank you so much for the dinner last night. However, it ends there. And so that was it, you guys. He did try to call, I think, twice after that. But then when I picked up and it was him, like, I was just like, like, I was just not, I don't know how to say this. So when he was calling me on my business phone. And his numbers are not stored on my business phone. So I used my business phone to call him because it actually has like unlimited calls. And so, that's how he got those numbers. But his numbers were not stored there. So he called the first day. It was very awkward. He said it was just greeting. The second day he said the same. It's like, I'm gonna be flying in soon. Is there possibility for me to see you? I was like, no. It was very strange, you guys. It was really, really strange. Like went on the worst date of my life. After that, I'm just like, I think I just need, 100 days to rest from that. It was like so awkward. And I'm sure that there's some stuff that maybe I'm missing out because I'm super exhausted. I'm from Babaganosh's, performance and all that Chende, which he killed. But honestly, you guys, I don't even want to lie. It was actually really crazy. It was really, really crazy. And I couldn't stop laughing at myself. And not to mention, Lebo couldn't stop laughing at me. Guys, the guy made me stand up and sit down. It was so awkward. It was like one of the most awkward things that I've ever experienced. Oh my goodness. I was just like, Owamie, what have you gotten yourself into? Anyway, ninjas, I want you guys to go and comment down below if you guys ever had any weird dates and stuff. And so yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this story time. I feel like I got exhausted in the middle. But anyway, I love you so much, my ninjas. Do not forget to thumbs up this video and obviously share. And I will see you guys in my next upload. Bye, ninjas. Would you like to start a new YouTube channel but you have no idea where to start? Or you already have one but it's not going well and you wish you could get someone give you some personal advice? Well, who better than someone with over 100,000 subscribers? I'm giving those services for a small fee, of course. The details will be on the screen somewhere here, so make sure that you follow them and say hello to a new successful YouTube channel. Now, let's go back to the video chat.